Now, today was fixed for the appeal of the addendum issue. That is the appeal from the High Court to the Court of Appeal. But on the second, we got new evidence. I cannot disclose to you too much. New evidence from the Istana Pahang that we have put in a different affidavit. Okay, the affidavit of the son of Dato Seri Najib, which is Dato Nizam. He's an ex-co member. He received a document which is called the Addendum, and he received this document from the Istana, okay, under the direction of Duli Yang Maha Mulia Sultan Pahang. The contents I cannot tell you, but what I can tell you in general, so that you're not desperate about what is it. Yeah? The contents is exactly what we have known before, that Dato Seri Najib is to serve his balance of the imprisonment sentence in the house, which means house imprisonment. And that was signed on the 29th of January, same time as the main order. You remember the main order that discounted up from 12 becomes 6 years, and from 210 million fine becomes 50 million. Same day. So, in short, in another 1 month, it will be 1 year that addendum has not been executed, because none of the 6 people, including the government of Malaysia, wants to confirm it exists or not. Alright? So, the additional and fresh evidence is to prove conclusively that it exists. Okay? And when it is disclosed to you, you'll be quite surprised who the king ordered to carry out that addendum order. But now I don't want to say, because there is a kind of protective order. So when the full argument comes about, you will know. But I think I've given you sufficient information for you to not second guess, but you actually can assemble the facts. You know what I'm talking about. Okay? Now, today, because the fresh and new evidence punya application was not before the court, not before these 3 judges, somehow because we filed it on the 2nd. Sorry, we filed it on the 3rd, because the information was obtained only on the 2nd. So within 24 hours, we didn't sleep, we put in the application. And we served on the Attorney General's chambers on the 3rd itself. But the sealed copy, we served again yesterday. So actually, memang they didn't have the time to respond. I think they want to know, they want to take instruction whether this document called addendum is real or not. Okay? I've suggested to them, maybe they can use the state legal advisor of Pahang. Just take a drive to the Istana, find out if it's true. That is all you need to do. But we leave it to them to determine whether the addendum we put in is true. We are confident 120% that it is true. It's accurate. Okay? So now they are doing case management to decide what is the date they want to hear both. The fresh and new evidence, as well as the main appeal. So the impact is slightly different if they allow the fresh and new evidence, which they should, because we never had it before. And we could not have it before because every member of the government is playing hide and seek with us. They never say it's not there. You remember, eh? Minister of Home Affairs never say we don't have or we have. Everybody, yeah? Everybody was playing the game like that. So they were not actively concealing, but they were concealing. So we couldn't have it. But on the second, I'm told that we are allowed to use a copy of the addendum to exhibit in the court. So they should allow it. So if they allow it, the impact is great, because what the court and the High Court seems to think that is hearsay, what the Minister of Home Affairs said in Parliament, it is hearsay. The Minister of Home Affairs suddenly is very clever in law. He says it's hearsay, you know. But whereas the question that was asked by the member of PAS, Dato Takiuddin, was, do you have it or not? What can you answer? Yes or no? You're the minister. Okay? So, even if there is no inclusion of this new evidence, I think we've got a strong case for that thing. Any question?
What does the Malaysian law say? Can the Sultan be subpoenaed? Has it ever been imported?
No.
They can't?
Can't. Not just here. You can't do that even in UK. Okay?
So you suggested they want to verify, then take a drive down to the check with the legal office in the palace and so.
Not legal office. You can have a chat with the king.
And get their confirmation from whether it's from him or not.
Yeah. And we can dare them to do it. We can go on record. I dare them to do it because we know it is there. And what we exhibited is the real one. Anything else?
So that means the addendum was the real one? The
Real.
Exact copy?
Huh?
The exact copy? Or was it a copy? Or?
It's a copy, the Sultan's own copy. So what he signed and sealed, he delivered it to the, Secretariat of the Pardons Board, and one copy went to the Attorney General, for sure.
But we don't have any act on house imprisonment now, right? Still in Malaysia.
No, the Home Minister does not know what he's talking about. The Act is there.
Oh, okay.
Section 43 of the Prison Act gives him the power for the, Commissioner General of Prison to release people on license.
Oh, okay.
Section 43 of the Prison Act. And then it is double up in the regulation of the same Prison Act under Regulation 111. And it says there is a format, you follow the form on how to release and what conditions you can impose. So this story about passing new law, I don't understand what they're talking about. Yeah, there is the law already there. It's just people are not either reading the law or they just simply are not moving to do the job. And for your information, I had a previous client by the name of Kenny Lee. Do you remember Kenny Lee, the murder case? Who was sentenced, I defended him earlier. I got him off for 8 years. Then he changed counsel, he got another counsel. He was sentenced to death at the Court of Appeal, he was sentenced to death in the federal court. Then his matter went up, and I'm aware of this, for pardon. He got 2 or 3 times pardon. The last one was a house arrest, on the condition that the father was very ill, there's nobody in the house to take care of it. So they released Kenny Lee under house arrest, under the same provision. I know this because the law officer of the prison, who has just retired, confirmed this with me. We used to work together with me and that law officer used to work together on matters of prison law. So anybody telling you there is no such thing is obviously either he does not know what he's talking about or he's bluffing.
May I ask, must he settle the fine first before he can go on house arrest?
Not necessary. Not necessary. Because the release of on license can be conditional to whatever condition the DG of prison want to impose.
Is there a reason why this information in the supplementary affidavit wasn't made available to you earlier? Perhaps when the case was at the High Court level.
Okay. This is my guess. Some parties do not want Dato Seri Najib to be out of the prison. Because as you can appreciate, he is politically a figure that many people have to reckon with. He's still very much a very popular political figure. So they're worried that his influence might grow if he is not isolated in the prison. That's one set of people. Now, there are other sets of people working in different directions. But I suppose you also mean, why not the king mentioned this? Now, because of the position of the king, the previous Agong, initially I think he does not want to enter into any public controversy. So he remained, if I can use the word with the greatest of respect, he remained a bit aloof. But I think things have gone a bit too far. It's only going to be 1 year since that addendum was passed. This 29 January 2025, which is one more month, it's already 1 year. And it is not fair to Dato Seri Najib if there was such an order.
So, Tan Sri, just to check, the dates for the two things that are going to be heard, they haven't been set yet.
It's now being fixed.
It's now being fixed. Okay.
Yeah.
They will both be heard on the same day, ideally.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
There's no need to divide the two hearings. Anything else?
I mean, the fact that there's ongoing 1MDB trial that's still, and you're saying that even though he's out now, he might later on be back in and all these things, wouldn't it make sense to wait till the resolution of the 1MDB case?
Yeah, the 1MDB resolution case can be resolved in 10 years. You want him to remain in the prison? I mean, think about it. Is that fair? Deal with it one by one. As the problem comes, deal with it.
But people can also ask, is it fair for someone to go out so easily compared to others who are stuck in jail? I mean, the public, might say.
But how do you know the reason behind the king giving that order? He's the only one who is aware of the situation presented by the Pardons Board. And they discuss. You and I do not know because it's confidential. How do we know there are very strong driving force behind that decision? And one thing I can tell you, pardon involves either pure, the Malay word is belas kasihan, yeah, for mercy to be sure. But what we applied for is not belas kasihan. What we applied for is a total failure of a fair trial system. Because at the federal court, he was never heard. The judges never gave him a single light for him to be heard. Just because he wants to change the lawyers and they wanted an adjournment of 3 months. Why the hurry? Everybody else get adjournment. You walk in, you say, I'm a new counsel, I want an adjournment, they give you. Why Dato Seri Najib was not given? So he was never heard. You think, just imagine if that's your relative. He's never heard, and then you just send him out into the prison without hearing him. Is that fair? Is that a fair trial system that you want this country to adopt? Banana Republic, yes, you can do that, but not in this country.
He was denied change of lawyer, but he did give his statement later on.
No,
At the federal court, actually,
No.
he wrote a big.
no. Nobody submitted on his behalf because Hisham Tepotik stood up and said, I cannot submit because I'm not prepared because I just got engaged 3 weeks earlier. You see, you guys are not following it. In the federal court, there was no submission whatsoever. Not even the written submission, mind you, because they said they are not prepared. The written submission that the federal court judge was referring to was a written submission that was put in the Court of Appeal. That is the old one. They may submit a different point. You tell me whether that is fair. I'm willing to debate with anyone. Is that a fair system that you want this country to adopt?